See, we are going live on YouTube. Yes, live, YouTube live, YouTube live. I pass the capture. The thing is going on loud. Actually, live. So shall we start? Yes. Okay. Let's start. Radha Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodhanandana Prajajanarandana Yashodhanandana Prajajanarandana Yamuna Tira Nachari Kunjabi Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Nityananda Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Vrinda Jaya Sri Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya, Govinda Jaya Jaya, Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya, Govinda Jaya Jaya, Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya, Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya, Govinda Jaya Jaya, Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya, Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya, Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya, Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya, Govinda 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 Govinda, Gopala 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 Gopala, Gopala 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 Gopala, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Vrindavana Dham, Vrindavana Dham, Vrindavana Dham, Jaya Vrindavana Dham. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Gaura Hari Bol. जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय गौर सितनाथ प्रेमानंद हरे हरे।
part-time research scholar. He also visited basic shops, for corporate life. He has extensive experience in communications council work and instrument in Malayalam, Tamil, and Hindi. He has served for many years as administrator and editor of many Siravatpadas books in Malayalam. With his strong interest in leadership and talent development, he initiated and developed a number of youth training workshops for various educational institutes after completing his public policy studies. He designed and conducted many local and regional student training programs for students to communicate more effectively and develop transformational value systems based on Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavad. The Ramayana Sakshatras that he has been conducting in the different pockets of Kerala have inspired hundreds of people to become Scientific and Vedic way of life. He serves on the editorial board of Bhagavad Darshana, the Malayalam version of Raj Government Magazine, and the management committee of the
हरे कृष्ण माता जी, हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, हरे कृष्णा,
Sundar Nityananda Das graduated from Bharatiya
हरे
University
कृष्णा,
of Business, where he obtained
हरे कृष्णा, हरे कृष्णा.
where he obtained his master's.
లక్ష్మీకాంతం మాతాజీ సైలెంట్
అయ్యో,
2 minutes
సైలెంట్ వినిపించలే నాకు.
కొద్దిసేపు మాట్లాడుకుందామండి, తర్వాత క్లాస్ స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది. ఇక్కడ వేరే డిస్కషన్ జరుగుతుంది. కొద్దిసేపు సైలెంట్ గా ఉండండి, 2 minutes, తర్వాత మాట్లాడతారు.
Prabhu graduated from the Bharatiya University School of Business, where he obtained his master's in business administration with a dual specialization in marketing and human resources development. He has also acquired a diploma in teaching from the University of Maryland, USA, and various accreditations in holistic teaching. He is an authorized practitioner of acupuncture. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
లక్ష్మీకాంతం మాతాజీ వచ్చే లైన్ లా ఏం వినపట్లేదు అంటున్నారే, మూట్ చేశారు. మూట్లో పెట్టండి.
ఇప్పుడు వినపడుతోంది ప్రభు, ఇప్పుడు వినపడతాను.
సరే మాతాజీ, క్లాస్ స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది ఇప్పుడే, సరేనా? మీరు మూట్లో పెట్టండి మీ మైక్.
వర్కింగ్ డే మనందరూ కూడా మనం దాని అనుమానం అసలు తీసుకోవాలని అందరికి రిక్వెస్ట్ చేసినాం. ప్రభు కూడా చెప్తాం, రిక్వెస్ట్ చేస్తే ప్రభు కూడా ఒప్పుకొని టైం మనం జర్నీ చేసి వచ్చేవారు యాక్చువల్లీ మనం మళ్ళా మధ్యలో షెడ్యూల్ టైట్ గా ఉండేది వల్ల మళ్ళా కుదురుతుందో లేదో నా యొక్క స్వార్థం కోసం ప్రభు ఇబ్బంది పడుతుంది. మీ అందరూ కూడా ప్రభు దగ్గర నుంచి మర్సీ బ్లెస్సింగ్స్ వాణి రూపంలో తీసేయాలని చెప్పి నా యొక్క పర్సనల్ రిక్వెస్ట్ ఉంది, నా కోరిక ఉంది. ఫర్దర్ వెంటనే రిక్వెస్ట్ చేస్తే ప్రభులు ఒప్పించారు, ఫర్దర్ వచ్చారు. దయచేసి ప్రతి నిమిషంని ఆస్వాదించి విని మనసుకు తీసుకుంటే మనం భక్తిలో ముందుకెళ్ళేదానికి ప్రతి అక్షరం ఉపయోగపడుతుంది. నా యొక్క పర్సనల్ విన్నపము ప్రతిదీ వినండి, ఆస్వాదించండి, మనసుకు తీసుకోండి. ఫర్దర్ ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉంటే దయచేసి డౌట్స్ తో కూడా ఇంటికి వెళ్ళద్దండి. డౌట్స్ తో కూడా ఇంటికి వెళ్ళద్దండి. డౌట్స్ ఉంటే వెంటనే క్లియర్ చేసుకోండి. ఫర్దర్ మీ డౌట్ పర్సనల్ గా కూడా మనం ప్రభు రిక్వెస్ట్ చేస్తే ఇంకా మనకి ప్రొజెక్ట్ ప్రభు వచ్చి అందరు క్లాసెస్ తో బిజీగా ఉన్నారు. ఫర్దర్ మనకున్నా కూడా క్లాసెస్ ఫర్దర్ ఇయర్ ఇక్కడ కంటిన్యూ వచ్చేదానికి ప్రభు కూడా రిక్వెస్ట్ చేశారు. ప్రభు దానికి ఒప్పుకున్నారు మన అసోసియేషన్ ఉంది కాబట్టి అసోసియేషన్ కంటిన్యూగా ఇచ్చేదానికి మనం దాంట్లో ఉత్సాహం చూపించారు కదా. మనం ఉత్సాహం చూపిస్తేనే చేసే పర్సన్ కూడా వాళ్ళకి ఇంట్రెస్ట్ అనేది పెరుగుతుంది. ఉత్సాహం ఇచ్చే ధైర్యం కదా. మనం ధైర్యంగా మనం బతుకు ముందుకు వెళ్ళాలంటే మన సీనియర్ వయసులో బ్లెస్సింగ్స్ కావాలి. వాళ్ళ వాణి కూడా వినేదానికి మనం దాని తగ్గట్టుగా సమూహతాన్ని చూపిస్తున్నాం అనేది వాళ్ళకు కూడా తెలియాలంటే మన నడవడికలు చూపించాలి. దయచేసి ప్రతి నిమిషానికి ఇట్లా చేసుకోండి ప్లీజ్. తమిళ్లో చేయమని అందుకే తమిళ తెలుగు ఉంది, నేను తెలుగులో చెప్తాను. తమిళ తెలుగులో చెప్పాలి. నేను ఇంగ్లీష్ తెలుగు నుంచి చేశాను. ఇంగ్లీష్ తమిళ
ఆల్మోస్ట్ అందరికీ తమిళ వచ్చు కదా, తమిళ తెలుగు మాట్లాడుతున్నారు, ఆల్మోస్ట్ అందరికీ తమిళ వచ్చు కదా, సో నో ప్రాబ్లం. లెట్ హిమ్ ట్రాన్స్లేట్ ఇన్ తమిళ్.
I will speak in Tamil.
You speak in Tamil, huh?
He will translate in Telugu. That's arrangement.
So you want the translation in Telugu?
English, how many of you know English? You are all comfortable with English.
Telugu means I will do it.
Wait. Just, you are all comfortable with English? We can do Tamil translation.
Okay, no?
I will speak in English.
Speak in Tamil.
Huh?
Please, speaking in Tamil.
No, this I want that. Tamil translation. ఎందుకంటే మెజారిటీ అందరికీ
English is Tamil.
చేయండి తమిళ చేయొచ్చు. మెజారిటీ ఇంగ్లీష్ ఇస్ ఓకే. మెజారిటీ తెలుగు వద్దు, తెలుగు ఎప్పుడు ఉన్నారు ఒకే లాంగ్వేజ్ లో మాట్లాడండి, బాగుంటుంది. తమిళ్ నాట్ తమిళ్, ఇంగ్లీష్ స్పీక్ ఇంగ్లీష్. మెజారిటీ దే ఆల్ నో ఇంగ్లీష్, ఎవ్రీబడి అండర్స్టాండ్స్. ఓకే, ఇంగ్లీష్ ఓకే ఫర్ ఎవ్రీబడి.
தமிழ் வேணுமா
எத்தனை பேருக்கு நான் தமிழ்ல பேசணும் கை தூக்குங்க.
ప్రభు మాకు తెలుగు ప్రభు తమిళ
ఎత్తన
రాదు
పేరుకి
మాకు
ఇంగ్లీష్
తెలుగే వచ్చేది. హరే కృష్ణ.
ఇంగ్లీష్ ఇస్ లెస్. ఇంగ్లీష్
హరే కృష్ణ. హరే కృష్ణ. మాకు తెలుగు తప్ప ఏమీ రాదు ప్రభు, తమిళ రాదు మాకు, తెలీదు. తమిళ్ చెప్పినా మాకు అర్థం కాదు కదా, తెలుగు అయితే బాగా అర్థం.
ఇక్కడ చాలా చాలా ఇది ఉంది, మా దగ్గర చాలా మంది ఉన్నారు. సో ఐ స్పీక్ ఇన్ ఇంగ్లీష్. ఓం నమో భగవతే వాసుదేవాయ. ఓం నమో భగవతే వాసుదేవాయ. ఓం నమో భగవతే వాసుదేవాయ. జయ శ్రీకృష్ణ చైతన్య ప్రభు నిత్యానంద ప్రియ ద్వైత గదాధర శ్రీవాసాది గౌర భక్త వృంద. హరే కృష్ణ 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 హరే హరే, హరే రామ 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 హరే హరే, హరే కృష్ణ 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 హరే హరే, హరే రామ 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 హరే హరే, హరే కృష్ణ 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 హరే హరే, హరే రామ 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 హరే హరే. జై శ్రీ ప్రభుపాద కీ హరి ఓం తత్సత్. Hare Krishna. We are very pleased to have you here with us this evening. First translation or I just speak like that? So today we'll speak about what subject? Do you have any topic to speak? Do you have any suggestions? I'll choose. Okay. See, in order to progress in spiritual life, there are so many things that we have to keep in mind. One important thing is study of scriptures. Okay, study of scriptures. When we say scriptures,
What do you mean? What all come under scriptures? Can you give an example of a scripture? Yeah, Vedic scripture. Can anyone give any example of one book which comes under Vedic scripture? Bhagavatam, of course. Any other book? Ramayana, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Ishobhanishad. Isn't it? So all these books come under scriptures, Vedic scriptures. So it is very important to learn Vedic scriptures. Why is it important to study scriptures? Why? Is it really important, or we just need to chant Harinam? That is enough. What do you think? Is studying scriptures important, or only chanting is enough? It is also important. Why do you think it is important? If you don't study any scriptures, you only chant, will there be any problem? What problem?
The problem will be like mechanical.
What will be mechanical?
So we are not doing the chanting.
Ah.
So only those words we used to repeat.
Ah.
When we study the scriptures, we'll understand what is thought, what all these glorifications we do.
Yes.
When we are doing the chanting, we remember all this glorification and the greatness of the Lord, then we'll get a taste.
Yes. See, nowadays there is a trend which is picking up for people to keep healthy. They call it ABC juice. You have to drink that empty stomach in the morning, right? You heard about it? What is this ABC juice? That and all you know, but scriptures we are little doubtful. All this we know by heart. So it is not a very tasty drink, to be very frank, isn't it? But still people take it very religiously without fail every day. Now she's translating. So why do you think people are still taking it even though it is not very tasty? Why? Because they have the knowledge that this juice will help us in improving our health. So similarly, if you have to continuously do something, if you have to do for only 1 or 2 days, you don't need any knowledge. But if you have to do something continuously for your entire lifetime, you should know the philosophy behind that activity. Is it correct or not? Why should I do this? If I don't have that information, what will happen in due course of time? I will stop doing it. Isn't it? So, similarly, if we have to chant Harinam, if we have to do Krishna Seva, if we have to get up for Mangalarati, whatever it is, we should always know the philosophy behind that activity. Then only we will be able to do it continuously without fail. Isn't it? Is that correct? Yes. So that is why Srila Prabhupada has given equal importance to chanting as well as reading his books. He said, you chant 16 rounds every day without fail. Normally for chanting 16 rounds, how much time it will take? 2 hours. And Prabhupada has also said, you should read scriptures for how long? 2 hours. So that means Srila Prabhupada has given equal importance to reading or studying scriptures as well as chanting Harinam. So that means reading scriptures is as important as chanting. Got it? Otherwise, what will happen is, if some obstacles come in our devotional life, we will leave devotional life and go away. Many times we see that in the congregation, one particular devotee is coming, doing a lot of seva, chanting everything. But one day he or she had a fight with another devotee. After that fight, that Mataji decided that henceforth I am not coming for the association. Only if I come to the association, I can fight. No? So if I don't come for association, I will not have to fight. So I will sit peacefully at home and chant Harinam. I don't want to come to association because I don't want to fight with the devotees. Is this a good decision taken by the Mataji? How many of you think this is a good decision? It's a good decision or a bad decision? Why it is bad? She is saying, I don't want to fight. See, I will sit and chant at home. What is your problem? Why I should come for satsang? In the satsang, you teach me to chant. I will do the chanting at home. What is your problem? Huh?
It may not be bad, but it is not English.
Oh, that is even more confusing. Here we are trying to solve one confusion. He's putting another confusion. So why do you think it is a bad decision?
Because we don't step without have association be under guidance.
Ah,
It may be the allowed
yes, yes. Yeah. See, if you come and chant in the association, you will improve your quality of chanting. If you chant alone at home, you will improve your mistakes. Which is better? Improving your mistake is better or improving your quality is better? Improving quality is only better. And when the mistakes pile up, gradually this Mataji will decide one day, it is better not to chant, but simply think about Krishna. Chanting is not really required. Then one day this Mataji will decide, anyway Krishna is Sarvavyapi, even thinking is not necessary, Krishna will think for me. Instead of I thinking about Krishna, it is better that Krishna thinks about me. Is that correct? Correct only, no? No?
No, that will happen.
Yeah, that will also happen. That is what the Mataji is saying. Exactly. That Mataji is saying what you are saying. See, all these things will crop up in your mind. We anyway need association. So instead of taking association of devotees, we will take association of our friend who is sitting in the hall only. Isn't it? There was one man, please. So there was one man, he was continuously watching TV at home. So when the wife calls him to do something, some daily chore in the house, he will not do. He will keep on watching TV. So one day the wife got fed up. Okay. Because one day she made a nice feast for him. Avial, sambar, everything he made. Then she served the feast. He is watching the TV. He says, sir, I will eat. So he is eating like this. And finally, after eating, the wife asked, how was the feast? Then he said, kanji was very nice. The poor lady served a wonderful feast. Rice, dal, sabji, everything. And eating everything, this man is saying, the kanji was very nice. So she got very angry. So she one day went to a psychologist and said, there is something wrong with my husband. What is your problem? What is his problem? The psychologist asked. And this lady said, my husband is continuously watching TV. Then the psychologist said, I also have the same problem at home. Because if I don't continuously watch TV, I will have to continuously watch my wife, which is not very good for me. So instead of continuously watching the face of wife and fight, I watch TV. So your husband is perfectly all right. Who said this? The psychologist. Then this wife said, see, I can understand. But the problem with my husband is, even when I switch off the TV, he still watches the TV. He's so addicted to watch the TV that even when she switches off the TV, he continues to watch the TV. Isn't it? So this is the problem. So there are so many addictions at home. Nowadays, home is the most dangerous place. Earlier, home was a very safe place. Parents are saying that. Earlier, we thought if our girl is inside the home, she is safe. But now they are thinking inside the home, it is very dangerous because she has a square box in her hand. What is that? All the villains come there. Outside, there are only 1 or 2 villains. Inside, there are hundreds of villains. Isn't it? So, it is very important to know the philosophy behind each and every devotional activity. Isn't it? For that, we have to study scriptures. And studying scriptures means you just buy a Bhagavad Gita or buy a Bhagavatam and then just learn. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to study scriptures under the guidance of a guru. Why guru is important? See, suppose you want to cook something at home. You are newly married. You want to cook something for your husband. Before marriage, there was a talk between you and your husband. So your husband asked, what is your strength? And this lady immediately said, cooking. Very confidently she said. But her mother only knows the only thing that she can cook nicely is boiling milk. Rest everything the mother is only doing. But this lady confidently told, I will cook nicely. And this poor man believed that and married her. So now she has to cook. So what she will do now? You all do that, no? What do you do? You. And you will make some dish watching the YouTube and it will come in a totally different shape. And this intelligent lady will put a new name and present it in front of the husband. And the poor man will believe that it is a new dish and he will eat and go. So this is all possible. All these things can be learned from YouTube, books and all. But spiritual science cannot be learned that way. Why? Because in spiritual science, there is an additional element called realization. In other things, you don't have to realize. If you want to learn upma, seeing YouTube, do you have to realize upma? I realized upma yesterday. I realized sambar day before yesterday. Do you have to realize? No, you just learn. You just copy, imitate. This much dal, this much salt, this much sugar. You measure it, put it, it will come out kind of okay. There is no need to realize. But for scriptures, you cannot simply blindly by heart it, but you need to realize it. And also another specialty of scriptures is the scriptures will have multiple layers of meanings. You understand what I mean by multiple layers of meanings? For example, suppose you ask me to give a class based on Bhagavad Gita, say first shloka of Bhagavad Gita. I give a class. Then next month, some other senior devotee came and you ask him to speak on the same shloka. Do you think that devotee will speak exactly like what I spoke? Will it be the same? How can it be? We both of us spoke on the same shloka. Then the class should also be saying no. Why are you saying no? Realization is different. My realization is different. That devotee's realization is different. And the realizations keep differing from devotee to devotee. Isn't it? That is why for Bhagavad Gita, Ramanujacharya has also given a commentary. For Bhagavad Gita, Madhvacharya also has given a commentary. Isn't it? So many acharyas gave commentary on the same Bhagavad Gita. But the commentary is all different. Why? Because their realizations are all different. So scriptures are having multiple layers of meaning. That is why you can have number of realization. Even the same person, suppose I give class on that particular shloka this year. Next year, when I give class on the same shloka, the same person, will the class be same or different? Why? Again, the realization keeps changing, isn't it? So it keeps on coming, it keeps on coming. There is no end to it. That is why once what happened, there was one drought in Tamil Nadu, and I think in Kumbakonam somewhere. So the king was very much worried. No rains at all. So the king had some surplus reserve fund of grains in his granary. So with that, he was feeding his people. But then it was slowly reducing. And the king is worried. There is no rain. Even if it rains, for the paddy to be cultivated in those days, minimum how long you have to wait? 6 months. Isn't it? Even if it rains, by the time you get fresh grains, it will be another 6 months. So the king is so much worried. My subjects are going to become hungry. No, there are children, old people. What will I do? So that time, Raghavendra Swamigal came there. And he immediately fell at his feet and said, this is my problem. We are going to go hungry in a few days' time. The granary is almost empty. Please save us. So then what this Acharya did, he said, where is your granary? Show me. So the king took this Acharya to his granary. It's a huge cellar. Okay. There's a huge door there. And he opened the door and it's almost empty. Very few sacks are remaining. Maybe 1 or 2 days it will go. So then he said, don't worry, we'll see tomorrow. Before leaving, the Acharya wrote something on the door of the granary. And both of them left. Next day morning, it's time to cook. And the king is opening the door is not opening. The king said, what happened? Did somebody lock the door from inside or what? He's pushing, the door is not opening. So he called some soldiers and he said, what is happening? Then the door is not opening. So what they did, they removed some tiles from the roof and they peeped inside. They were shocked. You know what they saw? It's full of grains that they can't even open the door. In one night's time, for months together, they can feed the people there. So the king is surprised. So how the granary became so full overnight? How? How it became full? He wrote something there. Can you imagine what he wrote? He wrote Akshayam. He just wrote one single word, Akshayam. So from tomorrow, we also write on the wall of the kitchen, Akshayam. No more grocery bill. Will it happen like that? Why? He wrote Akshayam only. No secret mantra. Simply Akshayam. You also try. Will it happen? Why? That is 500 years ago. That is why it is not happening now. What is the real reason? Because it was written by the Acharya. He is a fully realized soul. Isn't it? So the realization makes a lot of difference. You know, you can learn Bhagavad Gita from a Sanskrit scholar or a Gita Pandit. You can also learn Bhagavad Gita from an Acharya. Will it make any difference? Or will it be the same? The scholar is an expert in Sanskrit. This Acharya is not an expert. He knows little bit. So with whom will you learn Bhagavad Gita? The expert Sanskrit scholar or with an Acharya who doesn't know Sanskrit so much? But he doesn't know Sanskrit so much. Because he is full of realization. And that realization is what we want. It comes through him, through his words, isn't it? So, whenever you read scriptures, make sure that you don't buy a book and simply read. But you should read under the guidance of senior devotees. Understand? Because there are multiple layers of meanings and realization in every single shloka. One Acharya said, just need to understand one shloka in Bhagavad Gita. It has got everything inside. You know what that shloka is? Different acharyas have given importance to different shlokas. This acharya said, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishami ma shucha. He said, this one shloka is enough. So that means every single shloka is pregnant with so much of meaning. Only the acharya can extract it out for us. It is not possible by a Sanskrit Pandit, isn't it? That's why once what happened in a village, long back, there was one family, and the father passed away, and this mother and her son, they are living together. So the son is the person who has to take care of the family. And one day, the son, he had a very strange idea. And he went to his mother and said, Mother, I am living in this village for so many years. I would like to travel to distant places and see what the world is like. I want to get experience. I want to become mature. I want to travel. I want to travel the entire Bharatavarsha. Please give me permission. Who's asking this? The son. The mother is worried. Why is she worried? Because he is the only son. Father already passed away. And she is alone, isn't it? So the son has to take care of her. She is one single lady. What she will do? And she is also worried because he is a young chap. In those days, traveling means it's very dangerous. It's not like that you book a train or a flight, go to Delhi and come back within 2-3 days. It's not possible, isn't it? You have to walk through forests, strange lands, isn't it? There is no guarantee that he will return home. Even some 20-25 years, people from Kerala, from the villages, they used to go to Shabarimala. You know, those days they used to walk. So they have to go through the forest. So what they do, before they leave, they will light a lamp in the house. Do you know that? In Kerala, in villages they do. And the ladies in the lamp are very alert day and night to make sure that the lamp doesn't go off. Why? Because they're walking through the forest, Karimala, this and that. There is one place called Karimala, you know, full of wild animals. Even though there are wild elephants, tigers. So there is no guarantee that this person will return home. So they are always prayerful. They make sure that this lamp is not put off. Every day they chant, you know, in front of the lamp. You know, it's like their life, isn't it? So it was very dangerous to travel in those days. So this boy is very adamant. He says, no, I want to go. I want to experience the world. He's not listening. So he's not like the modern children, you know, they immediately listen to the parents, no? He was not like that. So the mother understood that this boy is not going to listen to. So she said, okay, I'll allow you, I'll give you permission, but on one condition. Then he said, what condition? Now what? Then she said, I have got a simple condition. When you go away from home, you're going to see the country, no? When you travel towards distant places, always sleep under a tamarind tree. And after completing all your traveling, when you will return, no, that time always sleep under a neem tree. Got the condition? What is the condition? When you are going, you should always sleep under a tamarind tree. After you complete all your travels and all, you will return home now. That time, you should always sleep under a neem tree. Condition is clear? He said, that's all. I'll do it. No problem. Anyway, I have to sleep. Going, I'll sleep under a tamarind tree. Coming back, I'll sleep under a neem tree. No problem. And he started. Next day morning, he started. Within 7 days, he came back. Mama, crying. Within 7 days, this fellow who wanted to travel all over the country and see distant places returned in 7 days' time. You know what happened? What would have happened? Oh, no, then he would have never returned. So what happened?
Because he could not tolerate when sleeping on the tamarind tree.
Why? What is the problem? Tamarind tree. But why? Then why the mother said a tamarind tree, neem tree, any tree she would have said no. Oh, it will disturb him. Actually, there is a science, an Ayurvedic science behind this. That is, in the night, you should not sleep under a tamarind tree because it will release toxic gases. Huh? So if you continuously sleep under the tree for 8 hours every day, you will fall sick. It will increase your heat. It increases the heat of the body. So by 3 days, he already was sick with high fever. So he decided, I cannot travel. Let me come home. So what is the condition while coming home? Neem tree. Neem tree, it is very good. It reduces your temperature. It is good for your health. So by the time he traveled back for another 3 days, he's okay. So this mother is so intelligent. No, she gave a nice lesson to her son. At the same time, she did not make him fall sick. She made him fall sick. Then she also cured. Isn't it? So like this, the instructions of our scriptures, they are laden with so much of esoteric, mysterious messages that can be drawn out only by a realized soul. So that is why it is very important to study scriptures under the tutelage of a devotee, a realized soul. Isn't it? See, even simple things, we need some directions and guidance. For example, suppose someone comes and invites you for their son's marriage. They have given you a marriage invitation. So you say, oh, I'll come, no problem. So you also go to the marriage. And you attended the marriage and you came back. And the wife is asking, how was the marriage? Some wives will ask, how was the marriage? But most of the wives will ask, how was the feast? That is the first thing they usually ask. Then this fellow will say, oh, adayeng kek. Sambarla uppilla. Rasam ore karam. Kichadila thaire uttala. Yenna feast podranglo. You understood? Sambar, no salt. Rasam is very spicy. In khichdi, there is no curd. Khichdi means our Kerala khichdi. You know, cucumber khichdi. No curd. So he is talking about the marriage like this. And in the mandapam, the flower decoration was very poor. Mostly they used plastic flowers. Like this, he is pointing out all the problems that happened in the marriage. And finally, he said, it is better that you did not come for marriage. Now, what is the lunch serving? And he said, what? You had a feast? Why are you asking for lunch? Then this man is very intelligent. What feast? It is nothing in front of your cooking. And this woman is in cloud 9. So now, when they gave you a marriage invitation, if you read carefully, normally we will read carefully. What will we read carefully? When is the date? What time they are serving lunch? These two things we will read carefully. But so there is some other information in the letter. For example, what is the main intention of them inviting you for the marriage? Are you invited as a judge for the food competition there? Please come as a judge, eat nicely the feast and pass your comments. Is that the intention of the marriage invitation? In the invitation, is there written anywhere? You are the chief judge for the food. Is it written there? Are you invited to pass comments on the interior decoration of the hall? No. Then why are you invited for a marriage? They are very boldly written. Please come and bless our children, bride and bridegroom. That only we did not do. Rest everything. Except that we did everything. So a simple thing, it is written very clearly. You are supposed to come and bless our children, but we are not able to do that, isn't it? So if you can't even follow a simple instruction on a marriage invitation, how will you follow the instructions in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavad? It's very tough, no? That is why it is important to study scriptures under the tutelage of a realized soul. So once what happened was, there was one very exalted devotee. His name was Kanakadasa. You heard about Kanakadasa? Kanakadasa. So he used to go and listen to the discourses of Vyasaraya Tirtha. He's another Acharya. You heard about Vyasaraya? Vyasaraya Tirtha. He's a very great Acharya. So there used to be so many people who will come for the discourses of Vyasaraya Tirtha. And Vyasaraya Tirtha gives a lot of importance for Kanakadas. If Kanakadas has not come for one day, he will immediately, where is Kanakadas? Why he did not turn up? If he is late, he will immediately ask, why is he late? So he is very much concerned. He always inquires about Kanakadas. But the other people don't like this, because Acharya is giving importance to this particular person. And another reason is Kanakadasa belongs to a lower caste. Those pandits are all from Brahmin class. So they also don't like this. Why this fellow has to come and sit with us? They are all getting contaminated. We have to go and take bath. He also sits amongst us. Like that, they don't like. So Vyasaraya Tirtha understood this. Okay. And also Kanakadasa is not a very learned person. But these people are high Sanskrit Pandit scholars. They have studied Vedas, Upanishads, everything. So they are very puffed up. So one day Vyasaraya Tirtha asked Kanakadasa, hey Kanaha, there are so many great Pandits in our assembly. Why don't you tell me who will go to Vaikunda in this very lifetime? Who is asking this? Vyasaraya Tirtha is asking Kanakadasa. You tell me, among this august assembly of learned Pandits, who will go back to Vaikunda in this very life? So they are all very much annoyed. Who is this fellow to judge us? He doesn't even know proper Sanskrit. We are all great Pandits. Why this Acharya is asking him to judge us? They got very angry, but since Acharya said, they kept quiet. Then Kanakadasa said, I don't think I can judge them. They are great people. They are very much learned. You know, how can I judge them? No. You just, with your knowledge, you judge. You tell me who will all go to Vaikunda in this very life. So then Kanagadasa as the first Pandit. Sir, can you tell me what are your credentials? He is asking for his biodata. Please give me your credentials. So this Pandit stood up and said, I studied in a Sanskrit Gurukula for 12 years. I have mastered Sanskrit. I know Nyaya. I know Vyakarana. I know this. I know that. He gave a big list. Then Kanagadasa is like, so much you learned. Right. Then finally he sat down. Then Vyasaraya asked, will you go back to Vaikunta this lifetime? Kanagadas said, no chance. No chance. Then this Pandit is so much annoyed. He wants to speak something, Vyasaraya. I'll give you a chance. Keep quiet. Then the next Pandit stood up. He is also saying, I am an expert in Jyotisha. I can predict whatever is going to happen in this world. I know the past. I know the future. This, that. He is talking about his accomplishments. Then Kanagadasa again said, you also will not go to Vaikunta. Then Vyasaraya, in which lifetime? I don't know. How many lifetimes he is going to take? I have no idea. He's definitely not going to. Like this, Kanagadasa examined all the great Pandits there. Nobody is qualified to go to Vaikunta. This is whose opinion? Kanagadasa. They all became very angry. Then they all stood up. Okay, if no one will go to Vaikunta, who will go? You will go, ah? Like that they asked. Then Kanagadasa humbly said, if I go, you will also go. One simple statement. Very humbly said, if I go, you will also go. Naan ponal, neengalum pogalam. In Tamil it is like that. What is that in Telugu? Nenu pote vellachu. This is Nenu pote meeru vellachu. This is Telugu. In Kannada? Okay, fine. Telugu? And Telugu, how it is? Na? Naan hodre neevu. So, okay, so we have translated in all the language. In Malayalam, what they will say? Nyan poyal ningalum po. So this statement is very clear. Is there any doubt? That's why I translated in all the languages. The statement is very clear. If I go, you will also go. So that means these Pandits, they became very angry. So you mean to say that only if you go to Vaikunta first, we can also go. This guy is so proud. We have never seen such a proud fellow. How can you allow him to speak in this august audience? Like that, they started scolding, screaming. Finally, Vyasaraya said, keep quiet, keep quiet. Now, don't you think it is a very, very proud statement from the part of Kanagadasa? If I go, you will also go. That is too much, no? Either he can say, you will not go, or I will go. But he is saying, if I go, only you will go. It is too proud a statement, isn't it? What do you think? No, it's not a proud statement. Then what is the meaning?
He said, if I able to go means, I am infinite to you. If I can go means, you are also automatically eligible to go. You can also go.
So that means he is contradicting his statement. If he goes, then they will also go. Means, but right now what he said, you cannot go.
Yes, okay. As per his opinion, he is certified that they will not go.
They may not know. They will not go.
They will not go. They will not go. So, by thinking about himself that he is infinite to them, so if I am able to go means automatically he will be able to go.
Okay.
That's how I thought.
That is the meaning. If I go, you will go. There I doesn't mean Kanagadasa. There I means what? Our ahankaram. I am this body. I am man. I am a Bangalorean. I am a chief manager. I am a lady. I am a man. All those things, if you have any of those I inside you, you cannot go. The moment that I goes. So when you say I goes, then does it mean that I am nobody? If I goes, does it mean I am nobody? No. Then what I goes means, the real understanding is, I am not a man, I am not woman, I am not rich, I am not poor. Jivera Swarupa Haya Krishnera Nityada. I am the eternal servant of Lord Krishna. That is the real identity. When you leave the false identities and catch hold of the real identity, you can go to Vaikuntha. See, it's a very simple statement, but many people will misunderstand. If I go, you will also go, isn't it? So for that, an Acharya has to come and explain. So Vyasaraya Tirtha explained, this is what he meant, not like what you thought, isn't it? So it is very, very important that we learn the scriptures under a devotee's tutelage. Do you have any more time, or my time is over? How much more time? It is 8:10 now. Huh? Or you have many questions, we can go to the next question answer session. You have questions? More questions? Yes. Okay, so we'll go for Q&A session. Okay, so now you understood the point. We discussed only one single point, but it is a very important point. So what is the take home? Scriptures reading is essential. Another important take home. Under the guidance of a guru or a realized soul. Right? So that is why Venudhari Prabhu is organizing all this satsang, isn't it? Otherwise, you could have studied all these books in your home only. But we should discuss, isn't it? So that so many different meanings will come up. So many realizations will come. Okay, right. So now if you have any questions, please. Okay, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
The first one is why Krishna is chosen as the supreme God and why is he chosen to pray?
Why is he chosen to? Second part?
Chosen to be prayed and worshipped.
In ISKCON specifically. Okay. So there are two parts to this question. The first
question.
the question is, why is Krishna considered as the supreme personality of Godhead? That is question number one. Okay, I'll answer that. Then we'll come to the next question. So when we read, like today we are talking about reading scriptures, isn't it? If you open any page of Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada would have repeatedly mentioned two things. If you have closely watched the purport of Srila Prabhupada. One thing is chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Thousands of times Srila Prabhupada mentions this in this purport. Have you noticed that? So many times, isn't it? Another thing that he repeatedly says is what? Krishna is the supreme personality of God. Isn't it? So why is Krishna considered as the supreme personality? So there are two ways of answering this question. One way of answering this question is like quoting from so many scriptures. From Padma Purana, from Srimad Bhagavatam, from Skanda Purana, like that he can quote. That is one way of answering the questions. That actually is better for people who are well versed in all those scriptures. But for a common man's perspective, how do we understand that Krishna is supreme? Okay. See, suppose we have an office. In the office, there is one person who started that business, the owner of the business, isn't it? He is normally termed as CEO. Sometimes he's known as CEO, sometimes he's known as the MD, isn't it? Like that. And there are so many other officers, departments working in that organization. Okay. Now, when the CEO comes, or the owner of the organization comes, will he carry a laptop? Will he wear an ID card? Does he come like that, or he just walks like that, empty-handed? He will come empty-handed. He will not carry any of this stuff. Will he wear a tag? I am an employee of such and such organization. This is my employee ID. In case of emergency, please don't contact my wife. Contact my neighbor. Like that, will he have an ID or something? No. Why? Huh? Because he's a boss. And will he come exactly at 9 a.m.? Some days he will come at 10, some days 11, some days 4, some days he will not come at all. Isn't it? Why? Because he is the boss. He actually doesn't have anything to do in that office. For all the work, he has constituted departments and employees. Isn't it? He even have a general supervisor also. So big CEOs, what they do, you manage the show. In case there is something which you people cannot manage, it is beyond our control, then you come to me. Otherwise, don't disturb me. You manage the show. So that means the topmost person actually doesn't have anything to do. He can simply enjoy, do whatever he wants. So if you closely watch Krishna and other devatas, you will find that all the devatas are carrying something in their hands. They will carry weapons. One devata will have a sword, someone will have a shield, someone will have a trishul, isn't it? But look at Krishna, what he will carry. He will carry a flute. Isn't it? So what does that show? He doesn't have any duty. His only duty is enjoying with his loving devotees. If you read Krishna book, you will see morning he will go, get up as if he has to go to some office and all. But where he will go? He will go to Govardhan. He will take all the cows with him. And then he goes as if he has got a lot of job to do at Govardhan. Nothing. He will leave all the cows. They will, poor things, will eat the grass. This person will play all day along with his friends. And evening he will go tired like this. Mama, I'm tired. Nothing he does. He simply plays and eats. Everything else automatically happens. There is one place in Vrindavan. It is called, what is the place name? Not Ramandrati. Terkadamba. There in the evening, he will take his flute and play a note. All the cows who are grazing, they will immediately, they will just follow him. He doesn't have anything to do with even grazing the cows. Everything will automatically. So that is why Krishna is known as Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the boss. He has got a pakka system. Even though I gave the example of an organization, the kind of organization that Krishna has constituted is 100% foolproof, error-proof. Have you ever seen a day wherein Surya Deva said, "Oh, I forgot to rise today"? Have you seen such a day? Surya Deva did not rise. No, he rises. Have you ever seen a day where Vayudeva is saying, "I have to take a holiday to Ooty and Kodaikanal. How long I can wander around like that in Bangalore?" If he takes a holiday and goes to Ooty and Kodaikanal, what will happen to the Bangaloreans? What will happen? Next day, all the Bangaloreans are under the soil. All dead, isn't it? They cannot breathe. So such things never happen. Everything happens under clockwork precision. And you don't see Krishna coming and telling Suryadeva, do like this, Chandra, do like this. Why it happens? He is happily in the Vrindavan forest playing with his. That is why he is a supreme person. Yeah. Like this, we can keep on explaining many more things. Now we'll go to the second part of the question. What is the second part?
Why is Krishna chosen to be prayed and worshipped as well?
Why ISKCON devotees choose Krishna to be worshipped? The answer already comes in the first question. Because he is supreme. Isn't it? See, we always want the best. Suppose someone says, we are going to give you a free ticket in the train. We are going to take you from Bangalore to New Delhi for a sightseeing. You can choose which class you want to travel. Any class you choose, it is sponsored free. You can travel in general class compartment nicely. You can travel in sleeper. You can travel in third AC, second AC, first AC. Which class will you choose? Why? It's more comfortable. It's a topmost. Suppose there is something like first AC. You will choose that. Double first AC, triple first AC. There is nothing like that. First AC is the topmost. So everyone will choose the topmost only, no? So for worship, why are you settling with the lowmost? So worshipping also, naturally, everyone will choose topmost Supreme Krishna. So that's why we are choosing Krishna as the worshipable deity in Islam. Clear?
Second question.
What is the significance of following Ekadashi? It's a very lengthy answer actually if you have to give. But in simple terms, devotees always want to please Krishna. Earlier we said that we worship Krishna. But if you want to worship Krishna, you should love Krishna. Why would you worship someone? Because I love that person. When the love goes beyond a certain limit, what will happen? We'll start worshipping that person. So when you love someone, the first thing you will make sure is you will do whatever is pleasing to that person and you will avoid whatever is displeasing to that person. Is that correct or not? If you really love a person, you will do these two things. What are the two things? I will do whatever is pleasing to that person. And then second one is, I will not do anything that will displease that person. So Krishna is saying, Ekadashi is my day. Ekadashi is the day of Lord Hari. Krishna has mentioned in so many places that I like my devotees to fast on Ekadashi. Ekadashi is my own day. This day is very close to my heart. I will shower abundant blessings on those people who fast on Ekadashi. So from all these statements, what can you understand? Krishna likes Ekadashi or doesn't like Ekadashi? Krishna will be pleased if we fast on Ekadashi or he will be displeased? Pleased. So in simple terms, we are following Ekadashi because it pleases Krishna. There are so many different ways of looking at it, from a physical realm, from a scriptural realm, from a health point of view. There are so many different ways of looking at it. But in a simple terms, since we have many other questions, this is the reason why we follow Ekadashi, because it pleases Krishna.
Continuing from related. Next question is related. Into ISKCON and starting to practice, if we have to eat onion and garlic, a lot of them say the medicinal need.
Okay. So many people, especially newcomers, the objection that they raise is, why in ISKCON they are not consuming onion and garlic? Onion and garlic has got a lot of medicinal properties. So you should be having that now. Why are you avoiding that? This is one popular question. Okay. Now, is gooseberry medicinal or not? Does it have medicinal properties? Does it have medicinal? Yes, right? For many diseases, gooseberry is used as a medicine. For example, in Chyawanprash, the major ingredient is amalaki, gooseberry, isn't it? Correct? So, since it has got lot of medicinal properties, can you eat half a kg of gooseberry morning, afternoon, evening, and before going to bed? Huh? Hardly you can eat one or two or maximum three. If it is so much rich of vitamin C, antioxidants and everything, why don't you consume half kg amalaki 3 times a day and also before going to bed? Can you do that? Why? Why? Because it should be used as a medicine. If something is having a medicinal property, use it as a medicine, not for daily consumption or food. Food is different, medicine is different. So for newcomers, we can always say, if your Ayurvedic physician tells that this has to be used as a medicine for such and such ailment, you go ahead. But don't use it as a food. ISKCON devotees don't use onion and garlic, and for that matter, for anything medicinal as food. Food is different, medicine is different. This is an answer for the newcomers. Of course, there are other Shastric reasons why we don't use onion and garlic. Since the question is related to medicinal properties, I examined it from that viewpoint. Is that clear?
So the next question is why? Not sure if this is okay to be asked.
Yeah, 1 minute. Yeah, there's an add-on question. Will it affect our health? Okay.
Weakness food is there.
Mm.
என்ன பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு benefits. Weakness food என்ன
See,
question.
the question is, if we avoid onion garlic from our diet, will there be any kind of deficiency? Will it affect our health? That's the question. Yes. See, for example, there is something called a complete food. What is the complete food? Complan, no? What is the real complete food? Huh? Cow's milk. Cow's milk is a complete food. If you drink 1 cup of cow's milk offered to Krishna, that will take care of all your nutritional requirements, which is easily available, cheap, isn't it? And it has got many more health benefits than all this onion, garlic and all. Right? So what is the problem? You take milk. So make it a habit. All your deficiencies will. So nothing will happen by avoiding onion and garlic in your. There are other supplements. Like for example, you can take Chyawanprash. For example, you can take 1 gooseberry. Only 1 gooseberry, okay? Not half a kilo 3 times. There are so many supplements. So you don't have to depend on that. Okay. Yeah, again one more. Sorry. Okay. See, anything, if you consume in mild, minute quantities, it may be beneficial. In Tamil, there is a saying, Adhigamanal Amudum Visham. Malayalam enda parayum? Adhigamayal Amridam Visham. I think this proverb is there in almost all the languages. No? Kannada it is there? Telugu, everywhere it is there, isn't it? So, anything that you consume in the right proportion, it is good. But when you talk about onion and garlic, even though it is medicinal, if you consume it in large quantities, you'll have problems. Just because it is medicinal, you cannot simply consume so much of onion and garlic. Like when we were traveling to Mantralaya the other day, I was seeing on the fields, huge piles of onion is put there, the farmers. So And the farmers, I was talking to one of the farmer and he's saying, we have some problem, this and that, food problem. Then I asked, why don't you consume onion daily? You have so much surplus onion, no? No, that and all you should not consume. Then you said, it is, that is for others. We will not eat onion like that. It is not good for health. He's a farmer of onion. And in his field, there's a huge pile of onion. And he is saying that it is not good to consume onion so much. So when you consume too much of onion, it has got two problems. One is, if you have seen in olden days, if children don't want to go to school, they have a shortcut. You know what? Some children are there. I don't know whether I can say this. But anyway, you don't try this. Okay? What they used to do is, they will crush some onion, small onions, and they will keep in their armpit and go to school. What will happen? So you don't even have to eat onion. You keep it in close contact with your body itself, you'll have fever. You know what will happen if you consume it in so much quantity, isn't it? So if you consume onion, it will have this problem. Then another problem is, onion doesn't come under sattvic food. There is something called sattvic food and there is something called tamasic food. Sattvic food means it will have lot of positive energy. Tamasic food means it will have lot of, it also has energy. See, the modern day scientists and dietitians, they are only aware of energy. But we people are aware of not only energy, we are also aware about whether it is positive energy or negative energy. So onion has lot of negative energy. That is why if you see any temple you go, can you see anywhere in the temple where they offer onion and garlic to the deity? Anywhere can you see this some onion prasadam offered? Will you get anywhere in the world onion prasadam, garlic prasadam? Will not get. They will not use this in any temple for making offerings to the deity. So that means it is not sattvic food. So if you don't take sattvic food, your nature will also not be sattvic. So that is another way of looking at it. Okay. Next. 1 minute. We have a list of questions.
I apologize for the question. Why don't we see the deity of Sri Ramchandra?
We have in so many temples, like in New Delhi, the main deity is Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman. Yeah, many places we have. Noida we have many temples.
Next question is how to keep one's mind stable.
How to keep one's mind stable? It's a very big question. It requires a very big answer. Yeah, the easiest answer is said by Prabhu. Read Bhagavad Gita. Especially second chapter, Sthita Prajna Lakshana. If you read that, you will know. But generally, to say, to keep your mind steady, connect the mind to something which is steady. If you connect the mind to which is unsteady, it will become unsteady. If you connect the mind to something which is steady, it will also become steady, isn't it? See, suppose you are traveling in a train, a compartment. Your compartment is connected to a local passenger train. How will be your speed? Slow. If it is connected to Rajdhani or what is the latest train? Vande Bharat. How will be your speed? Very fast, isn't it? So if you want to steady your mind, connect your mind to something which is steady. Don't connect it to unsteady things. For example, watching TV. TV, is it steady or unsteady? Unsteady. Eating outside food, steady or unsteady? Watching movies, steady or unsteady? Chanting, steady or unsteady? Unsteady. Steady. Why chanting makes you steady? Because through chanting, you are connecting to Krishna, who is the most steady person in this universe. He is the king of Sthita Prajnas. Nobody can be more steady than Krishna, isn't it? So if you are connecting to Krishna, his nature will automatically come to you. That is why we say, in Tamil there is a saying, உன் நண்பன் யார் என்று சொல், நீ யார் என்று நான் சொல்கிறேன். What does that mean? Tell me who is your friend. You don't have to tell me who you are. You just tell me who are your friends. I will tell you who you are. So if your Nanban is Krishna, then you will also get the qualities of Krishna. He is a very steady person. Then we will also become steady. So the best way to connect to that person, especially in Kali Yuga, is by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Next question.
After coming to ISKCON, relatives start treating us like a friend.
It's actually relatives don't treat you in a different way. We treat the relatives in a different way. That is also one side of it. Well, why the relatives treat us in a different way is the relatives want us to be like them. That is not only relatives, even if in a school, suppose there are a lot of people who enjoy junk food, and if you don't mix with them, if you say, I don't eat all this pizza, pasta and all, I will eat only rice, dal, sabji, they will say this guy is different. Then they will think this guy is treating differently. They will also treat you differently, you will also treat them differently. So the treating differently comes when there is a union of unlike minded people. Their mindset is different, our mindset is different. So if they have to feel that we are kind of normal, either they should become normal or we should become abnormal like that. You have to choose whether you want to be normal or you want to be abnormal like that, isn't it? So it's a matter of time. Later on, if they are sincere, they are genuine, they will understand devotees are good, their path is correct. For example, one simple example. Recently, I read that Gopi Manchurian is going to be banned, or I think already banned in Bangalore. Did you hear that news? Why? Huh? Yeah, that is sunlight yellow, something they said, and some other sunset yellow, something like that. And there are many other harmful ingredients. So it is already banned. Tamil Nadu it is banned. Oh, in Tamil Nadu it is already banned. Bangalore also they are thinking to ban, isn't it? But then for us, this ban doesn't make any sense. Why? Because Prabhupada already banned it. No outside food. Isn't it? Not only Gobi Manchurian, any unoffered food is banned by Srila Prabhupada. So we are safe. So who is normal? We are only normal, isn't it? So after some time, if they are genuine and sincere, they will understand that our path is correct. Okay. Cotton candy is banned in Tamil Nadu. Yes.
The next question is, what is the importance of taking bhakti in an early age?
What is the importance of taking bhakti in an early age? Kaumaram Ajnade Acharade Prajna. This is a famous statement said by whom? A person who took bhakti at a very early age, at the age of 5 years, isn't it? So what is the advantage of starting early? Like for example, if you want to walk a long distance, you can either start early in the morning, or you can start in the afternoon, or you can start in the evening. Which is the best way of doing it? Early in the morning. Why? Because you have more energy, you are fresh, the sun has not risen, isn't it? So many advantages. Similarly, when you are young, your slate is clean. You know what I mean by your slate is clean? Not much of deep impressions. It's very fresh. So whatever you write during that age, it will be imprinted like you are writing on stone. It will never fade away from your heart. That is why whatever shlokas I have learned during my Bala Vihar classes, when I was studying in 6th or 7th standard, I'm very thorough with it now. But when I grew old, then also I learned some shlokas. But those shlokas are not so thorough. Sometimes I forget. But those shlokas, when I learned at the age of 5, 6, they're very clear in my heart. Why? Because the slate was clean. That is why in Malayalam, what they say, Chottaile, Chottaile Sheelam, Chudalavare. Whatever Chotta means young age. Whatever you learn and practice in your young age, it will follow you till where? Chudala. Chudala means what? Cemetery, crematorium. It will stay with you, whether it is good or bad. So Krishna consciousness also same. If you start early, it will get fixed on your mind in a very strong way, and it will accompany you throughout your life. Okay. Next question.
Next question. Devotees experience a lot of struggles, hardships, or health problems after practicing.
Is there any reason? Or what should we do? Let us leave bhakti. Why is it so? See, it may not be a universal phenomenon. For example, in my own case, my problems reduced after I came to bhakti. My health improved after I came to bhakti. I have never visited a hospital after coming to bhakti. So many years I visited. I visited hospital for my karmi friends and relatives. Once in a while, they'll get admitted. That way I visited for my own health's sake. It's many, many years since I visited any hospital because of the kind of sattvic diet that we have, the positive mindset we have by chanting, So all these things actually make us more healthy. But another way of looking at it is, suppose you are cleaning your house. The house is very dirty. When you pour fresh water, clean water, and do the first round of cleaning, when you look at the cleaned water, will it be very muddy or clean? It will be very muddy. Lot of mud will come out of the house, especially if both the people, husband and wife, are working. Definitely it will be very muddy. Nobody will clean. She will say, why don't you clean? He will say, why don't you clean? Finally, nobody will clean the house. So this happens. But after you keep on washing one time, second time, third time, then what will happen? There is not much of a mud. So similarly, for some people who have lot of karmic background, lot of impurities, it will all come out as problems, as diseases and all. But if you are steady in Krishna consciousness, gradually what will happen? Over a period of time, it will subside. The same logic is for, I think, homeopathic medicines. In many homeopathic practitioners, what they say, when you take the medicine, first it will enhance. So somebody new to that will think, oh, by taking this medicine, my condition has worsened. It is not worsening. It is coming out. So for some people, it will be like that. But whatever be the situation, Krishna consciousness is always beneficial. It will never harm you in any way.
Next question is importance of chanting in association.
What is the importance of chanting? Not simply chanting, but chanting in association. See, association means you chant with a lot of like-minded people. In science also, there is a logic. They call it synergy, synergic effect. See, for example, if you ask someone what is 1 + 1, they will all say it is 2. But in synergy, they say 1 + 1 is 3. Why? Because when two people join together, there is an extra energy that is created because of their positive mindset. When you are alone, it is only your energy. But when two people join together, then a positive mindset is created. That is why if you go to, say, the beaches and all, when they have to pull the boats out of the sea, what they will do, they will pull and they will chant Hey Lesa, Hey Lesa. Something they will chant, no? Hi Lesa, Hi Lesa. Like that they will chant. Why are they chanting like that? So why can't they pull it silent? Mauna Vratam.
When they use that audio, all will listen, so that all will apply the approach at a time.
Not only that, when that chanting will act as an extra source of power and motivation, isn't it? So the same happens with the chanting also. When you are chanting alone, you are using only your chanting. But when you chant with a group in association, you are using the energy of so many like-minded devotees. So even if you stagger in your chanting, that common force will pull you and put you back in the right track. That is why I have seen this when I do Govardhan Parikrama. If I do Govardhan Parikrama alone, I complete it in some 10 hours like that. But if I do it in a group, I complete in 8 hours. Why? Because the synergy is there. It's a group, isn't it? If I become tired, the other person will encourage. If he becomes tired, I will encourage. I will say only short more. Little more. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. So chanting also like that. Okay.
The last one. The question is, when there is a service which is given to us by our people, we are generally not able to do that. Some the other people respond back.
Yeah. See, the guru is not like a tyrant, like if I say this, you have to definitely do. You can always get back to the guru and say that I have such and such genuine problems. What can I do about it? So guru will definitely give you some solutions to come out of it. Otherwise, if he feels that you are not able to do it, he can also give some other service. That is always possible. So as Prabhu said, communication is important. You can always communicate. Nowadays, all the gurus, spiritual masters in ISKCON, they have opened up so many channels for communication. My own Guru Maharaj can be contacted in so many ways, like he has an email ID, then he has an Instagram, you can send him, you can call the JPS office, so many different ways of communication. So keep this communication channels live, and if there is any genuine problem, you can always sort it out. It's not a big issue. Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you for the questions. Hare
Onion and garlic can be eaten for medicinal purposes. So some people say that their doctor has told you to eat eggs.
Yeah. So can we eat eggs? Because it also has medicinal property. Yeah. See, actually, every medicine has got a substitute. It all depends on your strong mindset. If you have an inclination to eat such things, then you will take the support of all doctors. This book is saying that this medicine is very effective for this and all. Because our inclination is to eat it. So we are finding reasons to eat it. But if your inclination is not to eat it, you will find reasons why I should not eat it. So first we have to correct our inclination. That is important. When Prabhupada was sick, when he was a child, one doctor recommended that if this child has to leave, he has to be given chicken soup. But Prabhupada was not ready to take. Even Prabhupada's father was dead against it. But the doctor said, no other medicine. You have to take it, otherwise the child will die. But nothing happened. Prabhupada did not die. Isn't it? So Krishna is also watching. It's not that Krishna will punish you because you did not eat onion, garlic, eggs and all that. Actually, Krishna doesn't like all those food stuff. That's why Krishna is saying, don't eat it. So if someone is following Krishna's instructions, Krishna will be more merciful to them. Even if there is some problem arising out of not eating onion or garlic, Krishna will always substantiate it with some other things. Isn't it? He is Vaidyo Narayana Harihi. He is the topmost Vaidya. And that Vaidya is saying, don't eat this. Isn't it? So we don't have to follow it. So again, your inclination is what is important. If you have the right inclination, you can leave that. Yeah. So some new devotees may be there. When they hear that we should not eat onion and garlic, it is very sinful and all, they may be taken aback. So this is one requirement when you want to progress in spiritual life, and if you want to take the spiritual path very seriously, But in the beginning, it may not be very easy to leave onion and garlic. So don't think that it is a big sin if I'm eating onion and garlic. It is always better to avoid it, but give yourself some time. I'm saying this to newcomers who are already using it for a long, long time. So just because this Prabhu came and gave a big lecture about not eating onion and garlic, I'm going to leave the association. If I come, these people will always say leave onion, nothing like that. Take your time. There is no problem. But understand that in the long run, it is not good for you. If you want to leave it, you leave it. Otherwise, keep coming to the association, chant Harinam. Whatever is possible for you to follow, you follow. Okay? Right. Is that okay?
ఇంకేమైనా ప్రశ్నలు ఉందా? ఇంకేమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉంటాయా?
హరే కృష్ణ. దండాస్ ప్రణం తిరుపతి.
మీకేమైనా ప్రశ్నలు ఉందా?
Yeah.
Why you share not what distractions easy as to pray to God Shiva.
So the question is, even though Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, even though he can provide everything, give all kinds of blessings, why Arjuna was advised by the Lord to meditate on Lord Shiva to get the Pashpatastra, isn't it? So Krishna, even though he is Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is also a Bhakta Vatsala. Bhakta Vatsala means what? He's very fond of his devotees, isn't it? See, for example, when the father is teaching his son or daughter cycling, then that son is falling off, then the father is studying it, then again he is falling off, he is studying it. So to encourage the son, the father will say, you are doing good, you are doing good. He will encourage, isn't it? You are doing good. So that the son gets encouraged and he is motivated to try, and finally he will be able to learn cycling. So similarly, in this world, there are so many people, like who are also devotees of Lord Shiva. So it is not that you should not pray to Lord Shiva. If you are a devotee of Lord Shiva, you pray to him. But understand that he is Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. He is the topmost of the Vaishnavas. So you approach him as a Vaishnava. And Arjuna also approached Lord Shiva as a Vaishnava. And he was gifted Pashupata which will help him to take part in Mahabharata war and defeat Adharma. Isn't it? So that is one reason. And another reason is Krishna always wants to glorify Lord Shiva because he is the topmost devotee. That is why when Paladi Madhana was happening, churning of the ocean, what came out first? Poison. Hala hala visha. Immediately Vishnu told the Devatas that only Shiva can help you. You have to approach Shiva, pray to him. He only can help you. And immediately everyone went to Shiva and Shiva so mercifully swallowed the hala hala visha. But don't you think Vishnu can also help? Isn't Vishnu powerful to neutralize the effect of that hala hala visha? You think it is possible for him or it is not possible? It is possible for him. He himself is lying down on a very venomous snake. His bed itself is a venomous snake, isn't it? So can't he neutralize hala hala visha? He can neutralize hala, but he wants to glorify Lord Shiva. And that is why he is even now known as Neelakantha, isn't it? He's glorified forever. So there is a wonderful loving bond between Krishna and devotees. So there is a competition. The devotee wants to glorify Krishna and Krishna wants to glorify Krishna. So sometimes Krishna wins, sometimes the devotee wins. So all these pastimes happen. Okay. Hare Krishna. I think now it's already very late, right? Stop. Okay, so Venuvari Prabhu was saying that this is a very wonderful Sangha we are having here. I also felt it that way in the beginning itself. When we are having a kirtan, there was a loud uproar from your side. Normally, the people are like that. It is little mild, but here it was so strong, isn't it? Did you notice that the chanting back was very loud? So that shows the enthusiasm of the devotees. Very loud. So since we have got a very nice enthusiasm, Prabhu has got a plan to start an extension center in this area. So if that has to happen, we all need to become very serious in our own personal sadhana. At the same time, we also get down and spread this message to other people who are in this area. We have to preach, we have to do book distribution, attract more people to this Sangha. So that we will grow and we will very soon start an extension center here. How many of you want to see an extension center here? So please preach, take care of your sadhana nicely. If you are not strong, you cannot pull others, isn't it? So first we have to become very strong by being in the association and doing our sadhana pakka, taking the guidance of senior devotees, especially are very fortunate that we have Venudha Prabhu with you. He's always ready to take care of your needs. Whenever we talk over the phone, he always talks about you people. I have this plan, devotees like that. In Pi layout, there is this thing happening, you know. So he's very enthusiastic. He's very eager that you people come up with it. Okay. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, special thanks. Madhvi Mata. Service station and the I mean, tried on the rest of special thanks to Madhvi Mata. రావాలని రిక్వెస్ట్ చేసి ప్రభు కోసం
You want to close this?
భజన కీర్తన విని బిల్డింగ్ ప్రసాదానికి ప్రైజ్ బ్యాక్ పంపించారు హరి హరి